Good day. In this lesson, we will discuss the conversions between common fractions, percentages, and decimal numbers. Let's have a look. So I have common fractions. Then I will have my percentages and decimal numbers. First example. If I'm giving you 17 out of 20 as a common fraction, and I would like you to rewrite that as a percentage and a decimal number, what will you do? Very important. We need to change the 20 to become a value out of 100. To make it out of 100, we times top and bottom with a 5, both the numerator and the denominator. And if you multiply that by 5, you get 85 out of 100. And once it's out of 100, we actually have the value of the percentage, because then that will be 85%. And once it's out of 100, I can actually write it now as a decimal number. Out of 100 means we are talking about hundredths. I have 85 of them. So this will become 0.85. You understand? Let's do a couple more examples. If I'm giving you 16%, and now I want you to change it to a decimal number and a common fraction, where can you start? Maybe it will be easier starting with a common fraction, because percentage means out of 100. So this will become 16 out of 100. But now you need to simplify your fraction, okay? So divide by your HCF, top and bottom. So I will divide by 4 in the numerator and the denominator. So I will have my fraction in the simplest form as 4 over 25, or 4/25. Now to a decimal number. It's easier working with the 16 out of 100 to change that to a decimal number than the 4 out of 25. 16 out of 100 means 16 hundredths. And then you can write it as a decimal number. So 0.16. What will you do if I give you 115%? And you need to change this now to a common fraction and a decimal number. Let's start with a common fraction. What does percentage mean? Out of 100. 115 out of 100. Is it possible to get percentages more than 100? Maybe not in a test. But if you think of percentage increase with the electricity bill, it's more than common. Okay. 115 over 100. Simplify. Divide top and bottom with a 5. So I will have 23/20. And now I do hope that you realize this is an improper fraction. So my numerator is bigger than the denominator. So 20 can go into 23 once. And there will be remaining 3 over 20 will be remaining. Now, to write it as a decimal number. Maybe still easier working with this one, out of 100. So this means there's 115 hundredths. What will we do? If you're not sure, this might give you a hint. I have 1 and 3 over 20. So what will this become? It will be 1.15, my decimal number. Do you understand? I hope so. Number 4. If I'm giving you 0.065 as a decimal number, and I would like you to change that for me to a common fraction and a percentage, what will you do? Maybe it's easier starting with your common fraction again. So 0.065 means it's 65 thousandths. So 65 over 1,000. There's my common fraction. But simplify. So we're going to divide by a 5. And I will have an answer is 13 over 200. Now I need to change this to a percentage. To change it to a percentage, I need to have a value out of 100. So I need to take either of this and change it to a value out of 100. Might be easier taking this one now. So I'm going to divide by a 2 and I'm going to divide by a 2. And what is 13 divided by 2? Half of 13. 6,5. So I will have 6,5 out of 100, but it will become 6,5%. Okay, number 5. How about 3/8? If you need to change that to percentages and decimal numbers. Can you remember about an 8? What should you remember? 8 times 125 is 1,000. So I can times that by 125, and then I will have a fraction out of 1,000. 3 times 125 will be 375. Now, once it's out of 1,000, I can change it to a decimal number. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, the comma will be there, 0,375. To change it to percentage, my value needs to be out of 100. To change this fraction out of 100, I need to divide the numerator and the denominator with a 10. So this becomes 100. What is 375 divided by 10? 37,5. So what's my percentage? 37,5%. Okay, last one. If I'm giving you 0,4 and I want you to write it as a common fraction and a percentage, start with a common fraction. 0,4, this is in the place value of the tenths. So it means it's 4/10. Okay? And to put it in the simplest form, maybe divide by a 2 in the top and bottom. So I will have 2/5. To change it to percentage, it needs to be out of 100. So if I have 4 over 10, I need to change it out of 100. So it will be times 10 times 10. It will be 40 over 100, and that is 40%. Boys and girls, conversions between common fractions, percentages, and decimal numbers is very important to know. I hope you understand. Until next time, goodbye.